business. And this series, there's a new fire breather, ready to spend big and fight hard for the right deal.
I'm losing my mind here because it's such a simple question. That is absolutely crackers.
Stephen Bartlett built a multi-million-pound social media empire from his bedroom. He's already proved a force to be reckoned with.
I am going to make you an offer, but I'm not going to suck the blood out of you like Peter just did.
And has splashed £150,000 of his own cash.
We'd love to accept. Well done.
Amazing.
That young new dragon, he's just swept me off my feet.
Tonight.
Let's get down to business.
You guys are everything that I'm looking for.
Wake up, Tuka. Oh, maiden, that one cut deep.
I couldn't be less interested.
Vampire.
You've been fiddling with it, have you?
I have been fiddling with it.
So you're saying you want me?
The new upstart, come on.
Peter's feeling it today, isn't he?
What?
Welcome to Dragon's Den, home to 5 of Britain's sharpest business brains, ready to help some entrepreneurs think big, while giving the underprepared a serious headache. First into the den, a husband and wife, Joel and Nikki Buckley.
Hi, my name's Joel.
Who dream of painting a greener picture in the world of DIY.
We really care about what we do.
Okay.
Let's do this.
The mission that we're on is honest.
Yep.
Ah, that looks like environmentally friendly.
Decorating.
Interesting.
And they know exactly who they want to marry up to in their sustainable enterprise.
So a dream team would be Deborah and Steve.
Yeah. But Sarah could be quite interesting for us too.
Oh, we did say so, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Sorry too, computer.
Right. Let's go. Hello, my name's Joel,
My name is Nikki.
and we're from Eco Union Limited. We sell a range of sustainable decorating tools to the trade and DIY. And so we'd like to invite offers of £85,000 for 10% of the company.
We purchased our business in 2019 and we're pleased to say that in the last 2 months we've turned over 149,000. So we sell a whole range of decorating products, but we want to tell you today about paint trays.
I'm sure all of you have got these somewhere in a shed or a garage, but unless you meticulously cleaned it last time you used it, you're going to get spots of paint in there. And then what's going to happen is you're going to put the new paint over the top, you're going to roll up and down the wall, and it's going to leave spots and splodges everywhere.
So we want to tell you about our Eco Tray. This is made of sugarcane bagasse and it's certified carbon neutral. And unlike your plastic paint tray where you have to then go and wash it out, putting the paint down the sink, which is bad for the environment, with these, you simply leave the paint in the bottom of it, and then when you come to use it again, the paint's in there and it's got no flaking like you might have with the plastic one. You can use them again and again, but if you decide you want to get rid of it, you can just crush it and then it can just go into the dustbin. There's a sample of some of our products in your boxes, and if anybody feels like having a go at painting, we've got aprons, don't worry.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yes, go on, Sarah.
Sustainable decorating tools is the business Joel and Nikki Buckley are pitching to the Dragons.
Look at that.
So there's no flaking at all, that paint's not going to mix in any way with blue.
They're asking for £85,000 in return for a 10% stake in their company.
And how many times do you recommend people use it before they would dispose of it?
You can use it as many times as you need to or want to.
Crafting guru Sarah Davies has had her creative fix,
Thanks, Sarah, that's great painting, by the way.
Great
Thank
job.
you. Yeah.
but Tuka Suleiman is the first to brush up on the business.
Joel and Nikki.
Yes, hi.
Very impressive pitch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Going to focus initially on how you got round to purchasing this business.
So we've bought and sold various businesses as well as done startups from grassroots, and we've done sustainable businesses before.
We knew we wanted to buy another sustainable business. And this business, when we found it, it hit all those criteria.
And what have you done to it since you bought it?
We have got a background in marketing, so we wanted to rebrand. So that's one of the main things that we did. And we've added some SKUs, and we've also looked at how we can get a better profit margin across the product range.
Right, what are you forecasting for the next 12 months?
So we are on the edge of signing up a couple of large retailers, Dunelm Mill and Jewson's Partnership Solutions. So we're expecting, with this 12 months, 1.5 million.
So you're really going to go for it. And where are you based?
Exeter.
In Exeter, yeah.
I'm going to in Joel and Nikki. I really like what you've done, but I'm already up against it, I think. Because, so you've gone DIY, you've gone eco, and now you've gone Devon. Deborah Meaden.
Do you mind? I'm doing a poker face here. Do you mind?
So I'm going to have to up my game.
Peter Jones is feeling the pressure as he discovers the sustainably driven duo appear to be ticking several of Deborah Meaden's boxes. But the Den's environmental trailblazer now wants to find out just how planet-friendly the pair's paint tray really is.
Can we talk about the product for a moment?
Yes.
Why is the tray carbon neutral?
Because we've made it carbon neutral.
But how?
We've
Offset?
gone, yes,
Yep.
offset, and we've gone through every single aspect from the farm to the stores.
Okay, but when you finish with it, you can't compost it because it's got paint in it.
Yeah. The difficulty is we can't say what type of paint is going to go on the tray from the end user. So we are saying it's probably better you put it in your landfill where it will naturally degrade and then the layer of paint will just be left over.
Don't buy degradable products, cause a problem in landfill.
This is like a paper product, so it's just going to naturally mulch.
And just leave the paint behind.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about the other products? Which bits aren't you happy with? Because there will be bits in here.
Sure. Yep.
Is the print...
That's
Yes,
all
yes,
vegetable ink.
vegetable ink,
Yeah.
possible.
Okay, I'll keep trying to catch you up. Let me keep going. What about the plastic dust sheet?
So that's an oxy-biodegradable dust sheet, so that will be considerably better than any kind of version or just plain biodegradable dust sheet.
Okay, where is it made?
The trays are made in China, the bagasse comes from Thailand.
Have you explored the option to move the manufacturing to the UK?
One of the first things we did was took the manufacturing of our main brush product to the UK.
Yeah.
That was us that set
We
that
would love to
relationship
bring
up.
all of our manufacturing
Everything
from the
over
UK.
here.
I don't know if you know, but the those black plastic paint trays, the factory that I own, we make the majority of the UK bulk production.
Right.
And also the sales team that I'm day-to-day involved with that look after all of the accounts, I can go to the same accounts and say, don't buy the plastic paint trays anymore, guys. I can sell you the best alternative.
Right.
Okay.
The entrepreneur's faultless presentation and impeccable eco-credentials spur Sarah Davies to reveal she has the potential to produce the pair's products at her fingertips. And her big sell hasn't gone unnoticed by Stephen Bartlett.
When Sarah started telling you about her paint tray factory, I got the sense that she was maybe flirting a little bit. So I wanted to ask, what is it you're looking for in a dragon? You want a dragon that has...
Obviously, Deborah, for us, she's got the sustainability credibility, but actually, I think one of the things that's important to us is educating, getting the message out and really working on the digital.
You're saying you want me?
I'm saying that is definitely an area that is important to educating our customer base.
I think you've lost the plot.
Because they want me.
You're making the wrong decisions already. You're going
To continue
to
with
a
my
new
line of
Dragon
questioning,
social.
you said
come
that
on,
you have very
5
ambitious
minutes here.
plans.
Hang on,
What?
one at a time.
Don't worry about pizza.
It's like, what's
Don't
the
worry
point?
about pizza.
And it's the new upstart. Come on, give me a break. Let me teach you a lesson how it works. Because this is just noise, right? Noise. So let's get down to business. I'm going to make you an offer. And I can guarantee that I can get all your products into Homebase tomorrow. So I'm going to make you an offer for all of the money. And I want 25% of the business.
Vampire.
Fangs are flashed as the longest-serving dragon and the Den's newest recruit trade blows, leading to an offer from Peter Jones. Does preferred investor Deborah Meaden have an interest in entering the fray?
Guys, I love the product, but I love why you're doing it. You care about it, and certainly in this whole sustainability piece, there is a load of greenwash going on.
Yeah.
There's a load of people just talking about it, but it's the authentic ones that are winning through because the consumers get very
absolutely.
savvy. So you won't be at all surprised to hear that I, too, am going to make you an offer. And I'm going to offer you all of the money. I want 20% of the business.
What?
Thank you, Deborah.
Okay. I'll offer you all the money, 20% of the business.
Guys, Pete's feeling it today, isn't it? Yeah. It's not very often we see this going on. Right. I think you are clearly very credible business people. I think what you really need is specific help in this sector. And I assume you've done research and you know that my family business is painting and decorating.
Yep.
So, I would also like to make you an offer. I would like to offer you half of the money for 10% of the business. And just for total transparency, the only dragon I would be interested in sharing with would be Deborah.
With 3 potential deals already on the table, Joel and Nikki's position in the den is strengthening. But could an offer from one of their preferred dragons, Master of Marketing Stephen Bartlett, help propel their eco message to the masses?
You guys are everything that I'm looking for. However, it really dawned on me when I saw Sarah's face that she has way more passion than I do for this product. I don't do DIY. I've not held a paintbrush since I was a kid and I was trying to do art badly. And that's the only reason that I begrudgingly have to say that I'm out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love the product. I love you guys. So I'm willing to give you all of the money for 20%, but I'm also willing to share with Peter to make this really go, if Peter wants.
I think that's really interesting. I love when good entrepreneurs come into the den, and I love it when I'm the first to recognise that and make an offer and spark the fury, because if I'm really interested in something, they're all interested. But take away the bravado when you sum up what this product is. You're walking in, and you're walking in for Deborah Meaden. Even I want Deborah Meaden, because Deborah has done an incredible job with DIY and eco businesses, and they've done so well and continue to do well. Let me say what I would like to do. I would like you to do the right thing and pick Deborah. And I do not want to go forward with it. And I've never done this before, because I just feel that everything that's right about your business, there's one person that can make that dream come true. And for that reason, I'm out.
Thank you for that, Peter.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Do we go and
Yeah, go to the back wall.
buy that wall?
It's a den first, as Peter Jones steps aside, leaving the other dragons to fight for the spoils. But it still leaves Joel and Nikki with plenty to mull over.
Deborah and Sarah.
Tuka Suleiman and Deborah Meaden are both seeking a 20% stake. Sarah Davies will put up half the cash for 10% if Deborah Meaden will partner the deal. But all offers are for double the equity the couple had hoped to part with.
So my first question, Deborah, would you be prepared to share with Sarah?
I would love to go into business with Sarah, but I don't think it's this one.
And is there any movement on your offer?
No. What you've got to think is that you need to get value out of me, and to get value out of me, I've got to feel like I've got value.
We feel like we want the dragon that we go with to also feel like they were
Passionate.
passionate
Yeah.
and getting a good return themselves.
I'll just put us all out of misery and tell Deborah congratulations.
Yeah.
We'd like to accept.
Yeah, go on. Thanks, Deborah.
Excellent.
Well done.
Very
And
much.
you've got
Thank
a
you.
great dragon.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Well done, guys.
Cheers.
Joel and Nikki seal the deal and leave the den with the £85,000 they were seeking. And, with the greenest of dragons now in their corner, they're off to paint the town an ethical shade of red.
What just happened?
I don't know what just happened. I have no idea. That
That
was
was
bad.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, Maiden, that one cut deep.
I would love to go into business with you, but the truth of the matter is, I wanted that one on my own.
I could tell.
Next to enter the den are South African expat James Inglesby and his business partner and fiancée, Venezuelan-born Diana Ziegler, with a range of items they believe are both luxuriously appealing and planet-friendly.
Our product is very great because we created something that is not only sustainable, but it actually works.
Drink or apply? Apply.
Apply.
Apply's got
Yeah.
a pump on it.
Yeah.
It's not really good though if we have to sit here working out if it's a drink or something you apply.
While the dragons wrestle with what the product range actually is, James is more concerned about being stumped himself.
My biggest fear is that they find some strange number that I don't know and just
you
throw me
forget.
off. Or I forget, yeah.
We are feeling very nervous.
Good afternoon, Dragons. I'm James.
And hi, Diana.
We are the founders of Nereus London. Today, we're here to ask the Dragons for £50,000 for a 10% share of our business. We create a truly luxurious spa experience using premium shampoos, body washes, and conditioners. Best of all, they're genuinely sustainable and plastic-free.
Like many millennials, we are taking more conscious purchase
What Diane and I discovered during this journey of trying to find conscious purchase ideas was that the average UK household uses about 216 plastic bottles a year. So, okay, go ahead.
There must be a better way to do this. Oh,
Yes. So we set out to develop and formulate our own products. They had to be clean beauty. And of course,
yeah, of course.
they had to work on Diana's hair. And
Come on, Diana, get with the program.
But to be fair, you're in a second language, aren't you, Diana, as well? So.
After all of this, we have amazing reviews from loyal customers.
to date, we've sold over 3,000 units, the turnover about £35,000.
So we would love for one of you dragons, or all of you dragons, to be part of this journey to sustainability and premium hair and body care. On the gift boxes, you will find the hand gel and the hair and conditioner shampoo.
There may have been some nerves on show, but James Inglesby and Diana Ziegler finished their pitch.
Well done, you got through it. It came back.
A little bit, but it came back.
No, that's good.
They're seeking a £50,000 investment for a 10% stake in their business. Peter Jones is the first to question the toiletries twosome.
You've come up with a range of hair, premium, body, beauty products.
Yeah.
What's your background?
I used to work for Unilever, and I've been formulating and creating deodorants, toothpaste, all sorts of bits and pieces. My real strength is product development. I do that now as a consulting job. I also do that for some other brands.
Well, fantastic. Okay, and tell me about the story behind, because I picked out of the box your products, and some of them look good. This looks like a little bit of a shambles.
Yeah.
What's behind that?
So we wanted to take all the plastic away from our product. This label is made of wool pulp, so it's going to start disintegrating, and you can put it on the compost, and it will just eat away.
They end up like this.
They end up like that, yes. You start off like that, and then over time, they start breaking down.
So if you open our boxes, you'll see like a warning card telling people that this is something that is naturally going to happen.
And how long does it take to get to that stage? Because it turns up looking lovely.
Yeah. It takes, 3-4 weeks, maybe longer?
I personally wouldn't mind it, but I know there are other dragons who would mind it. But to be honest, some of my other labels go a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just want it to look lovely when I get it.
But it's not particularly aesthetically pleasing, it ends up like that. I'm not sure people will appreciate the fact that they're buying a product that ends up like this.
Our customers seem to like it. We've had over 360 orders on Amazon, and we've only had 3 returns.
The entrepreneurs may be embracing sustainability, but their eco-friendly labels are proving divisive. Will the positive vibes from the den's most ardent environmentalist mean she's also inclined to greenlight their branding?
I think they look beautiful. The packaging looks great because I'm fed up with receiving organic, sustainable products in plain brown packaging. Everybody's gone for the look at us, we don't even use ink. So I like that bit. At the bad side of it, if it's sat on a shelf somewhere, I don't even know if you're a whiskey.
Our customers actually like the boxes so much. Those are made from recycled corrugate. They're corrugate, right?
No, they're beautiful. I can imagine a customer getting that and thinking that is lovely, but that is a very different experience to having that on a retail shelf. There is nothing on the outside of your packaging that tells me what it is.
Deborah Meaden deems the entrepreneur's marketing minimalism a wasted opportunity to broadcast their brand. Now, Stephen Bartlett wants to put the spotlight on the pair's projections.
In terms of your growth going forward then, year over year, so what are you forecasting?
Yeah, so we're doubling very quickly. We plan to do £250,000 year 1, and then year 2, 500, year 3. We're going to get up to year 5 where we want to be doing 6 million.
So year 1, what's the gross?
I'd say 55%.
The number?
Oh, the actual number for year 1. Whew, that's a good number to ask me. Off the top of my head, so minus 20% of, so it's going to be £125,000 profit, and then net is going to be minus 50. Yeah.
I feel like you're not very confident with these numbers.
No, I know the percentages. The overall numbers are a bit more of a difficult one.
You can admit, you can say, I don't know my numbers, because if I interrogate the strategy that's going to make those numbers come true, I feel like you'll get yourself tied up in a little web of nonsense.
Yeah, sorry about that. So it starts 250 for our year 1, 500, 750, a million, and then it'll go to year 5, 6 will be 6 million, 5 million, sorry.
And how do you get from 1 million to 5 million between years 4 and 5?
And I thought it was 6 million was going to be the turnover. I also thought you were going to double year on year, but double 500 is not 750, and double 750 is not a million, and double a million is not 5 million. And I think you know where I'm going. I have got zero confidence in any word that's coming out of your mouth, because we've had a load of codswallop for the last few minutes.
Sarah Davies loses patience as James fails to nail his numbers. And it appears Peter Jones's tolerance has also been tested.
I'm sitting here thinking about being polite, but I have to say, this is a shambles, frankly. At the moment, this pitch has no substance for me. I don't even know what Nereus is. I don't know really what the brand's saying. I really need to know quickly what this business is all about.
Something that is quite different is that these are all custom made, so nothing that you see here has not been made by us. Each one of these fragrances has been smelled, tested by Dinah.
That's still not good enough. If I'm launching a hair product and I've got a team of people that are putting a product to the market, I would bloody well expect them to smell it before they launch it. So let's go deeper. Let's find out what this is all about.
We wanted to create a brand that was all about sustainability, but it will actually perform, because I have such a sensitive allergies to a lot of chemicals. And having those, I want to remove my lifestyle to have a more like a vegan shampoo, you know, like we tested other like natural shampoos, but they actually didn't work.
Great, so I've got the journey, but how am I seeing on your product what it does? How are you going to tell me, as a potential consumer, the reason why I need to buy your product?
So, I mean, the main reason why you want to buy our product is, first of all, the fragrances and the experience that we're going to create for you. So, like, as you can see here, how we've set up all the ingredients, this whole spa experience.
No, James, you haven't. You've given me a box with a product in it.
Yeah.
There's no experience here yet. And the brand isn't telling me what the experience could be.
You have got to find a way of shortening that answer to Peter's question. Why? Why by me?
Yeah.
You know, and it took you ages to do that. And you've got to work that out. I'm afraid you haven't quite inspired me enough to think that I want to get involved. I'm sorry, I'm out.
It's a huge blow, as a failure to succinctly sell the USP of their business makes the Den's sustainable dragon, Deborah Meaden, take an early bath. And now it appears Stephen Bartlett has been visualising a rather unexpected scenario.
Question. I'm at home, I'm in my boxer shorts. It's Tuesday, it's raining outside. Bit bored. Pick up my phone. Open up social media website. Scrolling down the newsfeed. Boom, I see you. What does it say?
Create a luxury spa experience at home.
Okay, if you're telling me that you're framing your business as a spa experience, then I look to the product and I think, well, that's not what you're delivering for your customer. And so for that reason, I'm going to unfortunately have to say that I'm out.
James, Diana, this has to say what it does on the tin if you're going to have a chance of launching a new brand. So I would say at the moment this business is totally uninvestable. So I'm out.
James, you're clearly from the industry and have put the blood, sweat and tears in to get a business off the ground. My concern is you haven't demonstrated to me today that you have a solid grasp on the business and have the business acumen, therefore, to take the business to the next level. So I won't be investing in that amount.
4 dragons have now washed their hands of an investment. James and Diana's last chance of a deal rests with High Street heavyweight Tuka Suleiman. Could the eco-friendly brand be perfect for his portfolio?
Okay, retailers want sustainable brands. And I am looking for sustainable brands because I've got a home for them. Yes, it ticks the boxes. Look, guys, I am very tempted to make you an offer. I am tempted. You know, I could get this into 3 or 4 retailers tomorrow if it had the correct message. But I know you've gone so far with the branding. You guys have got your own agenda set up. I would want to change too much, take too much of the company, and that wouldn't be fair to you. So I'm not going to invest today, and I'm out.
No, thank you so much.
James, Diana, thank you.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate all the feedback.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Tuka Suleiman keeps his pounds in his pockets and the eco-entrepreneurs leave empty-handed. Their green credentials may have been commendable, but their toiletry concept just didn't wash with the dragons.
A lot of work to do.
A lot of work to do. Hearing the truth is the best thing, and we can take on all that feedback and turn it into something better, really. We hope.
Another couple hoping for a more positive outcome were Kieran and Varney Vitrico, who were seeking investment in their specialist gift beer packages aimed at a female market.
In many cultures around the world, beer is still considered an immoral drink for women. Even in the UK, beer is perceived as a male drink. Hence, we proudly named our beer Coconut Flower Beer for Women. It's not just a drink, it's an experience. It comes in a pack with aromatherapy candle.
The pack includes a mandala coloring card and also features meditation guide. This helps mindfulness and creates a therapeutic way of enjoying our drink.
The entrepreneurs had a potentially striking idea of what to do with the empties.
Aim for the middle.
Any other advice for me?
Well done.
When it came to the brew itself,
I actually rather like that.
opinions were split.
Can't work out whether it's like a medicine or a beer.
Peter Jones failed to understand how the drink would appeal to its intended female demographic.
I can't imagine why that would incentivise any woman to want to go and have beer.
So we are promoting experience. For example, lighting up your candle, relax yourself, drink a beer, and just chill.
Do you think beer is a mindfulness product? Isn't alcohol a depressant?
Makes me really happy.
Until the next morning, Peter.
But had Sarah Davies seen a glimmer of opportunity her male counterparts had overlooked?
In a way, I look and I think you're absolutely onto something here. Huge growth in the drink-at-home beer market. Phenomenal growth in meditation. But if someone offered me a vodka business at a yoga retreat, I think they were barking mad. And I'm really struggling with the proposition.
But it was the price of the product which would ultimately leave Tuka Suleiman shell-shocked.
The 8 packs sell for $32.40.
How much?
This is a very unique drink that doesn't exist at the moment in the Western world.
Nobody doubts that. But at the end of the day, you've got a premium beer that costs twice the amount of other premium beers.
Yes.
I have to think and say, wake up, Tuka. It's not going to work. So I'm out.
And once the beer proposition had fallen flat with the rest of the dragons,
I'm afraid I won't be investing.
I'm going to have to say that I'm out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kieran and Varney departed without any cash. Hoping to have more success satisfying the dragon's thirst for investment, is Glasgow mum Victoria Fullerton with a creation she believes is a game changer for new parents.
I think we've got something special here. It's a good product and it fills the last gap in the market.
This looks interesting.
Tuka, you've got some baby products, haven't you? It's going to be right up your street.
I'll have you know, I'm in the baby space as well now.
This is basically Tuka versus Sarah.
It absolutely isn't.
Oh, Deborah's thrown her hat in the ring as well. It's heating up already.
The entrepreneur has had a willing assistant at home, helping to put the product through its paces.
My daughter has been a big part of it, and due to the nature of the product, she has been #1 tester for it as well. When I left the house, she just said, "Bring back a dragon."
Hi Dragons, my name is Victoria Fullerton and I'm the owner and creator of The Total. We're a pre-trading company seeking investment and I'm here today to ask for £150,000 in exchange for 20% equity in The Total Sleep Company. Research shows lots of parents are perpetually tired as their children don't sleep properly. The Toto is a wearable device that I have created for infants that will give parents and caregivers the upper hand when it comes to bedtime. The Toto is worn on the child's wrist and uses their own unique biometrics. It then runs our patent-pending technology, and this suggests times when the child is tired and when would be best suited for them to start their bedtime routine. And here we have the Total Sleep app, which we input some of our users' information and our child's information, and then all we have to do is sync up our phone and wait for our notifications. And this greatly optimises your chances at a successful bedtime. So Dragons, are you ready to get parents a total night's sleep? There's some devices in your boxes for you to take a look at, and I'm ready for any questions that you might have.
A wearable device which predicts infant sleep patterns is the offering from Victoria Fullerton, who's seeking £150,000 for 20% of her company. Dad of two, Tuka Suleiman, wants to know how Victoria dreamt up her idea.
Well, every parent wants to put their baby to bed in peace.
Yes.
I always believed in my days when I had babies, routine. It's all about routine.
Routine is absolutely.
Routine is very important. Now, you've come up with an app, so I want to know, how did you actually develop the product?
So my background is actually psychology and child development.
Right, that's
and on my sleep training journey with my own daughter, I came up with the hypothesis that there's certain biometrics that actually tell you the exact time when that child is susceptible to going to sleep. Some other monitors would take your heart rate and things like that. But our technology has pinpointing the exact moment that that child is tired.
How does it do that?
Tracking their biometrics.
And what are those biometrics?
One's patent pending is protected. I'm quite nervous about just telling you the particular algorithm.
But as an investor, I have to make my decision today whether I'm going to invest in your business. So I have to understand what is unique and proprietary about this business. And from what I'm understanding, you're saying you can't tell me.
I could tell you, I just wouldn't like to disclose that, so...
If you're patent pending, you can speak freely.
Yeah, well, you can speak, because your application's in.
The application is in.
It's definitely in, well, then you can talk about it. Do you understand how it might be hard?
Yes, I do.
That's the bit of magic that you can't tell me about. It makes it really quite hard for me to get excited.
I'm quite happy to speak kind of privately, one-to-one. It's just because it is protected. I would hate for a bigger company to come in and swoosh.
So what we're looking to understand is, what is the inventive step? What is the technology that you've patented?
What does it do? That's all I'm asking.
She can explain what it does, but you're worried about explaining the technical algorithm.
I'm not asking that. Couldn't be less interested. What does it do?
So it's taking particular biometrics and it is tracking the pattern, so it's activity and rest periods. Think along the lines of oxygen rates or heart rates, things that your Fitbit would do, but there's a particular one that has not been connected just yet that I have.
Victoria narrowly avoids disaster by relenting on keeping mum about top secret tech. But Stephen Bartlett wants to find out a bit more about the team that's building her app.
To get a product like this to market, the development costs are huge, right? Are you developing this in-house?
I'm outsourcing it.
That always strikes me as a risk. The problem is I'm investing in not just the concept, but the team of people that have written the code, but they're not even in the same building.
So we work very closely with the guys, although it's outsourced because I don't write apps.
What code are they developing it in?
So there's a few different ones that they're doing because obviously they're working with iOS and they're working with Android as well. I'm sorry, I'm not technical. I only know a little bit of it.
You don't have to be technical, but I want someone stood next to you that is. This isn't a baby psychology business. This is a tech company.
Obviously, I would love to be employing my own team, and that's why I'm here and hope to expand. But for now, this is how I'm keeping costs down, their salary.
I think it comes back to in the bum. When you invest in a tech company, you're investing in a set of talented developers that are building the code, and that's not what we're investing in here. We've got an entrepreneur who's found someone to build something. They're not part of the business. So I'm asking myself where the value is.
A lack of in-house developers is a major red flag for tech-savvy Stephen Bartlett. And it appears Victoria's hardware isn't faring too well under a Peter Jones examination.
Look, I think it's an interesting concept. I mean, when you first get the package, I could see without the manual and everything, and then when you take it apart, I realise that it is...
You've been fiddling with it, have you?
I have been fiddling with it.
I have too. It's not hard, though. In fact, mine fell apart when the silicone
Yeah, and I think, what's interesting is that you are quite a long way. I appreciate now this is just a prototype, so for concept. And I do agree with the wearable piece, there's no question. But I think the hardest component part to what you're doing is the software. One of the big concerns is the fact that I don't know what the code is. I would like you to have shared that.
It's something I'll be able to come back to you with.
We've got this moment. There's one opportunity in the den, and sadly, it's here and now.
Sorry, Peter.
It's not something I'm going to invest in, so sadly, I'm out.
The first dragon drops out as Peter Jones puts the sleeping aid to bed. Has Tuka Suleiman been convinced by Victoria's vision for baby bedtime?
I honestly believe that parents are not going to pay just to monitor sleep. Parents are now finding there's too much tech, too many add-ons.
I think it's more of a generational thing these days as well.
Burn.
No, that's not what I meant, Tuka, sorry. It is definitely a millennial thing. They want their Fitbit, they want their watch, they want everything now, the self-gratification.
Yeah, maybe, but I think the application that you're going towards is going to be difficult. And you're going to need minimum £1 million to make this a proper business. So for that reason, it's not investable and I'm out.
Victoria, I worry that you don't know how far you are, technically, because it's a tech-based business. That's what it is. But it's that tech base that is going to make it happen or not. My worry is that you don't know how far you are from that. So I won't be investing. I'm out.
Victoria, it's just a huge risk. I've been there, I've worked developing apps in Silicon Valley myself. Super expensive. And so, if I were to invest in this company, I'd basically need more than 100% mathematically. And obviously that's not possible. So as much as I applaud your ambition, this is a mountain too high to climb. And so for that reason, I'm...
The scale of ambition is too risky for Stephen Bartlett, and he becomes the fourth dragon to depart. The entrepreneur's hopes of investment now rely on the product resonating with Sarah Davies.
I'm not the tech one. I am the mother who understands the problem. When I was a new mother, it was like a dark art. So I think it's absolutely genius. I do, however, appreciate the challenges that the other dragons talked about.
Yes.
And I'm not the tech expert, so I don't know and understand at what level you are through that development of the tech.
We're ready to go.
I'm going to trust that you are there. So from my point of view, I think you're on a great mission to want to help, and I just hope it's a mission that we can make a lot of money at along the way. So I would like to make you an offer. However, high risk, high reward. So I will offer you all of the money, but I would want 35% of the business.
I would be quite happy with that, Sarah.
We got a deal?
We got a deal.
We've got a deal.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
It's a no-brainer for Victoria, who wastes no time in accepting Sarah Davies' offer. The baby entrepreneur leaves the den investors as her new bedfellow in business.
Sarah being a mother, she knew exactly where I was coming from, so I'm really glad that she loves the product and she wants to come aboard with me.
That was brave.
Not one person in your team can write one line of code.
That feels like a challenge.
That's fine.
Our final visitor to the den is Canadian-born animal lover Rebecca Sloan, who's offering a green solution to canine pollution.
When I first introduced it, people didn't really know what to make of it. But it's really grown and people are raving about it.
That is seriously a metal tray with a bit of grass in it.
It's a grass pea blanket.
It's a pea blanket.
Rebecca's product has the dragon's attention. Can her pitch keep their interest?
Hello, dragons. My name is Rebecca, and I'm the founder and director of Piddle Patch, the fresh grass toilet your dog will love. I'm here today asking for £50,000 in exchange for 10% of my business. Dog owners want the best for their dogs, and thankfully there are a lot of products to choose from. That is, except when it comes to the important task of house training your dog. Currently, the most commonly used solution is the puppy pee pad. This is often a single-use product, and it's mass-produced in factories using harsh chemicals and plastics. Piddle Patch is the natural solution and the UK's first and only soil-free real grass dog toilet. I'd like to take a moment and show you a quick demonstration. So when you apply liquid to a puppy pad, it sits on top, and you're going to be able to see and smell that until you throw it into the bin. In contrast, when you pour liquid onto a Piddle Patch, it absorbs into the thick root system. And this is something that will really help to ensure that there are no smells and you don't need to throw it into the bin anywhere near as frequently as you do with a puppy pad. Thank you very much for your time, and you've got some samples in your box. Thank you.
Excellent.
An environmentally friendly puppy training toilet is the product Rebecca Sloan is pitching.
It's available as a one-time purchase or on subscription.
She's seeking £50,000 for a 10% stake in her company. Peter Jones is the owner of 3 dogs, and he wants to get straight down to business.
Rebecca, you described eloquently how it works when they wee, but what happens if you get a really big poo on there?
You would remove of the waste and dispose of it just like you would do at the park.
Not to be too graphic, what about the runny one? Because a lot of the puppies get upset tummies.
If your puppy does have an upset tummy, the best thing to do is to very carefully remove it.
So I've got to lift it all up?
I'm sure you can have someone do it for you.
But is this for lazy people?
It is absolutely not meant to be a replacement for dog walking. It's useful, especially if you live in somewhere like a high-rise apartment. It's not always possible to get your puppy down 10 flights of stairs.
But I get that, but I don't think it's practical. Because if you're in that situation, your dog is going to poo, and not just wee.
Right.
And then you've got a right old mess to clear up, because you're down on your hands and knees scrubbing grass, and you're not going to get rid of that stench or smell.
This is really something that if you're looking to keep it clean and you're looking to reuse it, it is possible with the right care.
Okay, so I just want to pick up on the cost.
As a one-time product, it's £32.50. If you're buying it every week, it's £27.50.
That's just crazy amount of money to spend on a grass bed. Basically, your invention, it costs more to manage what comes out of a dog than what goes in it. Cash is tight for most households. They can't afford the luxury of things like this. So your market is so tiny. It's people that love their pets too much and have got more money than sense. But it's not a business opportunity. So for that reason, I'm out.
An unusually early exit, as an exasperated Peter Jones immediately poo-poos the canine concept. Stephen Bartlett is also the proud owner of a pooch, and it appears he's sniffed out some potential in Rebecca's puppy product.
How many times could my little Pablo do a wee-wee on the pad versus the grass?
Most customers on subscription change it every 2 weeks. However, some people actually get considerably longer.
Okay, so do you see this as a transitionary product?
There are two markets for it. A lot of people buy it specifically for house training their puppy.
Sure.
And there is a secondary market of dogs that often live in apartments, and they might use it on a more ongoing basis.
I completely understand this, because I've got this problem. I'm the only dragon here that lives on the top floor of an apartment with a balcony, and we take our dog out twice a day.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop my dog needing to go at 1 a.m. in the morning sometimes. I completely get it, and I need one.
Rebecca, Tuka, I've just got a puppy, so I know the problem. Don't get me wrong, I love the idea. And the first thing that comes into my mind is how can you commercialize it? How can you sell that for $9.99? So what stops me from having some sort of a film that you sold with holes where the grass comes out, they're going to absorb the wee. At the moment they weed, you just weed it up and put another, a little bit like the mat down there. Yes,
Like the mat
but
on
what
the
I'm
mat.
saying is, if you have that holes in it, that you put on the grass so the dog can smell the grass.
But you understand the reason she's doing this is because she wants to get rid of single-use training mats.
Okay, let me change the scenario. If I had to create synthetic grass onto a waterproof foam that was machine washable and I could retail that for £15, would that be a winner?
There are people who will be looking for those solutions, but ultimately they're still plastic solutions.
But to a dog, whether it's synthetic or real grass, do you think that will make a difference?
Absolutely.
They've got millions of sensors in their noses. Of course they can tell the difference. So I think it's genius.
A massive seal of approval from dog lover Deborah Meaden. As the only dragon in the den not to own a four-legged friend, does Sarah Davies have the same enthusiasm for the entrepreneur's innovation?
Honestly, I thought this was going to be a little bit of a joke pitch. And I thought, well, it's a bit of grass in the house for the dog to go and have a piddle on. And you completely floored me. And, do you know what? I think these tight dragons sat here, you've just spent £3 grand on a dog. What's 20 quid? Because I really like the product.
Thank you.
It's grass in a tray. I'm sorry. This isn't happening.
I am taking you really seriously, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Right. So how big do you expect the business to get?
In 2021, I turned over £117,000. Next year, the turnover I'm expecting is $941,000.
Okay.
With a net profit of $224,000. The year after that, I'm expecting $1,348,000 in turnover, with a net profit of $323,000.
Excellent. I think you've got polarised views sitting here. You've got Peter who thinks it's the most ridiculous thing, and you've got Stephen who would sign up right now if you would take his details. But I can see a real market opportunity. So, I would like to make you an offer. I'll give you all of the money, but for that I would want 30% of the business.
Okay, thank you.
Rebecca's punchy projections propel Sarah Davies to make an offer. Could this now spark a turf war in the den?
There's lots I love about this. The sustainability side of it, that's really what interests me, because it drives me mad. The waste that goes on those blinking mats. So I too am going to make you an offer. But I'm not going to make it easy for you. I'm going to offer you all of the money, but I want 30% of the business.
Okay.
Rebecca, so there's certain products you come across where you know they'll work on social media because you're able to demonstrate the value of this versus the alternative within 10 seconds. And this is one of those businesses. I think we've got an opportunity here to build a really big dog brand online. The minute you post a picture of any dog, they swarm in there like, flies to a dog, right? So I am going to make you an offer. I'm going to offer you the $50,000 for 25% of your business.
Rebecca, I'm a product person, and I think out the box. Automatically, when I saw this, I said, what else can we add on to this? How can we grow the sales? That's the way I think. So I'm going to make you an offer. to offer you all the money, but I also want 25%.
Rebecca, given that the lowest offer here is for 25% of the business, I would be willing to match that offer on the table.
So why didn't you say 25% in the first place?
Because the competitive nature meant that I didn't have to go at 25%, and I think 30% was a reasonable offer.
Rebecca, can I just say, this is the power of influencer marketing, which has been my business for a long time. So I've managed to influence all the other dragons to follow me.
Tell you what I'll do as well. If Stephen wants to share,
absolutely not. We don't need you.
Fine, I will retract that.
It was declined. Do you know the thing?
It's a free-for-all in the den, with 4 dragons vehemently marking their territory. Sarah Davies, Tuka Suleiman and Stephen Bartlett are all competing for a 25% share, while Deborah Meaden is holding strong for 30% equity. But all the offers are asking for way more than the 10% Rebecca's willing to give away. Will she accept their terms or push for a better deal?
Thank you very much for all of your offers. I was wondering if it might be a possibility to do a clawback of equity once I've paid back your initial investment.
What would you be proposing?
Ideally, after paying back your initial investment, we could then make the equity 10%.
So from my perspective, what you're asking me to do is put a ton of work in now, massively increase the value of your business, and when I've done that, give you it back. So I wouldn't quite go to where you are. However, I would be prepared to drop my equity stake to 15% if you return my investment within 24 months.
Okay, thank you.
Rebecca, my issue is I don't want to take the money out of the business, especially in that growth phase. If you hit the numbers that you've set out next year, my equity stake will just drop to 20%. If you put that 50,000 into marketing, we can make millions.
Okay, thank you.
I think you've got some great offers. I'm going to stay where I am.
Rebecca, look, what you need is an uncomplicated offer, just a straight offer. So I'm willing to give you all of the money, 50,000 for 20%.
Okay, thank you very much. I really do appreciate all of your feedback and all of your offers. I'd like to accept your offer, Stephen.
Yes! We're going to sell so many pedal patches.
Well done, Rebecca. I'm heartbroken.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Rebecca leaves the den with the £50,000 she was seeking and the youngest ever dragon on her books.
I can't believe this is happening. That was overwhelming, to say the least.
I genuinely can't wait to give my dog it.
You've just invested in grass in a tray.
This is exactly what I've always needed. I get it.
Yeah, no, we
You
all
know what I
get
mean?
it.
Yeah.
That's why we all made an offer.
Well, we didn't all get it.
All right, we got it.
You're barking mad.
I'm really excited to be working with Stephen. I think that we're going to turn this into the household name, and I'm really excited to see what happens next.
It was his only offer of the day, but when the den's newest recruit set his sights on the prize, he went in for the kill, allowing Rebecca Sloan to join tonight's other successful entrepreneurs from the worlds of DIY and wearable technology. With over £250,000 of deals done tonight, just shows the dragons are as ready as ever to put their riches into pitches. Next time.
Still holding onto his neck, she gripped him tighter and paused for the last time.
All right, this is not a therapy session.
I'll stop right there.
This whole business feels very, very self-indulgent.
Oh, I tell you, I nearly fell off my chair.
Really wish I hadn't had that drink this morning.
Right now, you are running towards a blazing inferno, and I don't want to be burned.
I know Dave wants it, I know Peter wants it, and I want it.
I like you. You don't mess around, do you?